I'm going to do a quick opening up of this Batmobile that I picked up at the flea market. Of course, my cat wants to come in and talk now. Anyway, this is the Batman Forever Batmobile from Hot Wheels. It was put out in, looks like 2011 Mattel, it says. So it's been around a little while. They have reissued certain cars in this series. In fact, all of the cars in this series. So, you know, this is nothing special, and the package is really beat. So I'm just going to take it out because I have several other Batmobiles, like the Tim Burton Batmobile and that odd one from Detective Comics. And I do have the, you know, the 80s Batmobile as well. They have 80s animated Batmobile. So, you know, of course, this is one of the ones that I wanted to pick up. But the last time I saw it at the flea market, as I was putting it down in post and editing, I noticed, because I hadn't even checked the price, and I was shocked. But the seller cut loose with it for $5, and so I think that's a pretty good deal. And I'm going to take it out of this beat, bent, and scuffed packaging because it's got friends to play with now. He tried to sell me an armored version from, I think it was from this series. No, it wasn't. There was an armored Batmobile that I wanted nothing to do with. You know, oh look, it's completely closed up. Neato. This one I always felt was super silly, and there's a lot of well, let's just say there's a lot of controversy surrounding these two movies because of the director's vision for them. But I do like it. I think the more wacky the Batmobiles get, the better I like them. So, you know, yay. Got to add that one finally to the other Hot Wheels Batmobiles that I've got. I do have several others. It's just that these were the three that were handy. So I used them sort of as perspective for how these other ones kind of scale out, if you will. Anyway, that's opening the Batmobile. And now the dude doesn't have to sit there and pack it up every month. I finally took it off his hands. Anyway, let's do something else. If you are a rabid collector of crazy stuff, and if you have a bunch of figures which use flight stands or action stands, and you're running out of shelf space, I have an idea for you. I have already found the hanging point from this Jurassic Park, just, man, fierce looking flying dinosaur. And I just use a little bit of Omniflex here. This is the, it's 4-pound test, so it's very, very thin. You don't see it in low light conditions. And one of my hobbies is to find the single balance point and see if I can rig the model. But this is a way to not use flight stands. It's a way to not use action stands. You can even use these tacks on a shelf system if you want to. I tack them up from my ceiling. I have a little scene of Rodan and Mothra getting flown around by helicopters up above my desk, and I've got a couple other things that you've seen in the opening credit things and stuff like that. So for those of you who've been watching the show a little while, this is nothing new to you, but it's a little trick that people don't often think about, and I got this from, you know, building airplane models in the 70s. You know, figuring out how to make them look like they were actually flying was the thing, right? So, and it gets a lot of your flying creatures up out of the way. It gets them off of a shelf. It's a way of saving shelf space and other space, honestly. Fill up your airspace with toys as well. This handy tip brought to you by the good folks at Monkey Shine Labs. Just a quick sort of supplemental note to my review about the Mighty Marvel Masterworks. I was really happy with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, so I went ahead and ordered the Incredible Hulk, and you know, it's just absolutely fantastic. Again, I know I use that term a lot, but you know, full page prints of Kirby's artwork, and they give you you know, again, these are full color reprints of the original comics, and they do end up giving you only 6 in this book, but the other ones have 9. So I'm not really sure why the difference. Maybe there are more pages in the Hulk than there were in those original Fantastic Four books. I don't know. But anyway, regardless, this is a great collection of stories. And if your kids have not seen these original pieces of artwork and the original villains that the Hulk faces and his whole existential crisis, you know, this is one of the first. This wasn't really he wasn't a superhero. He was a monster from almost minute one. So similar to the X-Men, you know, he's saving people who would just as soon point a cannon at him. But these are the originals with, you know, with Ross and Betty and, you know, Rick and all of the original crew, and even get to see the Gray Hulk. I would go right ahead and buy these if you are interested at all in collecting the original pieces of art that Marvel created in order to get this unbelievable cinema thing together. But this is where it all started. You know, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko. You know, they also went ahead and did Spider-Man. They did so many characters. And these Mighty Marvel Masterworks are very affordable. They are wonderful full color art in the same scale that they were when they were printed. I really like them. Moving on to something else. And there he is. He's up. Flying through 3D space. Dealing with Darth Vader. But no, I mean, it's a great way to just sort of get stuff up out of the way and sort of get them into a situation where they kind of look like what they're supposed to be doing. I'm not a big fan of flight stands, action stands, you know, whatever you want to call them. I'm not a big fan of them. I would much rather do something like this. And, you know, in the right light conditions, the wire disappears. It's like a Godzilla movie, you know? Just gotta have the right lighting on. And so anyway, there you go. Little tip from modelers. And you know, you can do it with light figures. You can even do it with Marvel Legends, like Nighthawk here, whose cape looks much better in a flying position. So, you know, a little bit of a wind comes through the room and he spins around. But it gets them up off the ground. It gets them up off the shelf. You know, if you've got not a lot of shelving around, and or like characters like this that just, unless you have an action stand or a figure stand, they become very unwieldy. That cape is a nightmare. So I just found a 1-point balance point, and I kind of put him into a comic book swooping back pose, and I'll get something for him to fight up there soon enough. But you can do it with anything. You know, here I've got a few Mothra, a few Batman helicopters, and a Rodan and a Mothra flying around one another. And when the wind comes through, they all start kind of spinning and looking like they're dogfighting. Even got my beloved Green Lantern. So I've done it with a lot of different figures. I also do it a lot with the models that I build. These definitely look better when they're suspended like that. Much, much, much better. Anyway, again, little modeler trick from your friends here at Monkey Shine Lab. I did not invent this. I'm just trying to make kids aware of what we used to do back in the day. But this is a way to save shelf space, and also display your characters the way they ought to be displayed, flying. Just wanted to make a really quick little mishmash of nerdish for you, because last several episodes have been really long, and that kind of brings me to a question that I would like to pose all of our viewers. What sort of time frames do you generally like to watch? The longer form videos, or the shorter stuff with, you know, a bunch of subject changes and stuff like that? I mean, we're going to continue to produce our lengthy flea market videos and stuff like that. That's just really the only way to do it, right? But I was just wondering, you know, what you're all thinking out there. Anyway, we went to see the new Ghostbusters film tonight. It was pretty good. You know, nothing's ever going to be perfect, and nothing's ever going to be right, but at least I didn't get angry at this one. So there you have it. Anyway, if you like what you see here at Monkey Shine Lab, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. We would love to grow the channel just a little bit more. We've been hanging at 189 solid subscribers. You folks have been great. If you could pass our name around just a little bit amongst your friends, and maybe get one or two of them to check us out, that would be really, really appreciated. Anyway, renew, reuse, and recycle out there, everybody, and we will see you next time. I'm already on to making the new episode, so see you soon. Bye.